Good morning. Let's get started by sitting on our mats and centering. Find a comfortable seat. Wriggle your buttocks flesh away and sit up tall. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down, and rest your hands on your knees, palms down or palms up. If you like, close your eyes. Become aware of all the sounds around you, as far away as you can hear them. And then bring your awareness into the room and notice any sounds in the room. Maybe there's a heater blowing. And feel the effect of the room on you. Feel the air against your skin, the weight of your torso reaching onto the seat, onto your mat. Feel the skin against your clothing. Bring your awareness deeper inside and notice what's happening inside your body. Perhaps you notice the sound of your stomach, either rumbling or digesting. Perhaps you notice the movement and sound of your breath. Bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the texture of the breath. Notice the pace. And bring your awareness further inside. Notice your thoughts. Observe the quality and quantity of your thoughts this morning. And let them float through your mind like clouds in the sky. Bring your awareness to your heart. Observe the feelings that are showing up today. And know that feelings change every 90 seconds if we don't hold on to them. So allow those feelings to move through you without attachment or judgment. Let's open our eyes and come back into the room. And we'll start with some sun-shining breaths. Deep breaths, inhaling up, exhale, draw the belly in and squeeze all the air out. So 3-part breath, belly, rib cage, all the way up to the collarbones. Exhaling from the chest, the ribs, and the belly draws in and up. One more. Each one can get slower and deeper. And take that in. Let's draw little figure eights with our nose. And go back the other way. Come back to stillness. Let's squeeze all the facial muscles up towards the tip of the nose. And release. And squeeze. Release. One more. And let's open the eyes and the mouth wide, and we'll do a little lion's breath. Spreading your fingers as well. Inhale. Two more. Again, making the breath a little longer. And just shake it out. And come back to stillness. Let's lower the ear to one side. Walk your other hand around behind you. Press your fingertips into the earth. Just breathe into the side of the neck. Come back up. Lower your ear the other way. Walk your fingertips behind you. Gentle press into the earth. Come back to center. Let's do a second set. Ear to shoulder, fingers behind you at a diagonal. Dropping the shoulder down. Breathe into that stretch. And come on back up. And then other side. Fingers at a diagonal behind you. And back to center. Sitting up nice and tall, let's look over a shoulder. Let your eyes go as far behind you as they can, and then blink your eyes as you come back. Look over your shoulder, find a spot on the wall behind you. Getting tall as you come back to center, blinking your eyes. Look over your shoulder, notice if you can go further with your head and with your eyes. And then blink to relax. Inhale tall and rotate. And back to center. Let's release the chin to the chest and stretch it up. Bring it down and stretch up. And back to center. Let's bring the shoulders up to the ears. Give them a nice squeeze. Exhale with a sigh. Inhale, squeeze them up. Exhale. We'll do 3 more. Again, with each repetition, let the breath get slower and deeper. And perhaps the pause longer. Inhale up, retaining the breath. And then long, slow exhale. Drawing the breath, the belly in. Sitting up nice and tall, chest proud. Let's come into a spinal twist. And back to center and spinal twist the other way. And back to center. Let's rock back. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, rounding back. Inhale, stretching up. And if you like, place your awareness in your lower back and feel the stretch there. Feel the movement in your lower back. Where attention goes, energy flows. And back to center. Let's bring our legs out nice and wide, and the hands to the floor behind you, and the windshield wiper the knees. And then bringing the knees over to one side. We're going to bring one hand to the hip, one hand to the floor. Let's lift that hip and stretch around. You can feel that stretch in your lower back and coming back to center. Lift the hip and turn over your shoulder and come on back, sitting on both sitting bones. Lift the hip and twist. And back to center. Let's do 3 more. And last one. And let's switch sides. Sitting on both sitting bones, one hand to your hip, one hand to the floor by your hip. Inhale, lift and rotate. Exhale back. Three more. Moving with the breath. And come back to center. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. We'll butterfly the knees. Sitting up nice and tall, begin to come forward, feeling that stretch in your lower back. So keep your spine straight, don't round over. Lift your chest. If I'm pulling you forward by your chest, you feel that stretch in your lower back. You also feel it in your inner thighs. Yes, indeed. But focus as if my hand is on your lower back, helping you come forward. Keep stretching tall as you press the knees down and breathe into your lower back, feeling that lovely stretch. Let the muscles relax. Come a little more forward as they do so. Keep lengthening the spine, though, don't round over. Keep lifting up through the chest. So you're coming forward this way, not down. All right, good job. Let's release and stretch those legs out and just give them a little shake to release the tension from that last pose. And we'll come over onto our hands and knees. We're going to do a little bit of foot and leg warm-ups here before we move on to our spine again. We're going to send the right leg out. Press out through the heel, through the top of the head. Remember, you can always do this on your fists or on your elbows. And then we're going to bend the knees slightly, but still press out through the heel. So we're changing where the maximum impact is in our leg. Inhale, stretch and straighten. Exhale, bend the knee slightly, but still push out through the heel. Feel that more in your lower calf. Inhale, stretch. Feel that more in the upper calf, the back of the knee. And bends, pressing out through the heel, engaging the leg still. And one more stretch. And bend. And let's straighten that leg into the top, over and stretch the top of the ankle. I love this stretch. I mean, we spend so much time with our feet flexed, right? Sitting, standing. So to open the front of the ankle, it's just this wonderful feeling. And then we're going to pick that foot up and circle it. And circle back the other way. Let's bring that leg in and compare the two legs. Take a breath, send the other leg out, flexing the toes. Inhale, stretch long, press out through the heel. Exhale, bend the knee a little bit, but keep pressing out through the heel. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend and push out through the heel. Inhale, lift the knee up, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend. You can be also supporting yourself with your abdominals here. So you can work on that at the same time. One more time, bend the knee slightly, press out through the heel. And straighten the leg. Turn the top of the foot over, press down, giving the front of the ankle a wonderful stretch. And then lift that leg up and circle. And circle back the other way. And then let's turn the back of the palm over and give the back of the hand a stretch. And change hands, turn the back of the other hand over and give that hand a stretch. And change. And let's just make some little circles over the wrists and knees. Let those circles get a little bigger and let that turn into your cat circles. Getting as big or as small as you like. And maybe even coming back to child and rocking back and forth over your heels, feeling your lower back, getting a nice stretch here as you drop your tailbone towards your heels. And let's come on back up to table, and we'll start with little tiny circles, opening up the wrists and knees here. Just little circles over the wrists and knees in the opposite direction, and then begin to increase your circles. Getting as deep as you like. And then perhaps you'd like to come back to child and just stretch a little bit from side to side, reaching your tailbone down towards your heels. Feel that lovely stretch in your lower back. And let's come back up to table. Do some cat and dog. Coming into a lovely dog tilt and feel the contraction in your back. And then rounding into cat tilt and feel the stretch. Really tuck your tailbone, lift your abdominals. Awareness right into your lower back. And feel the joy of that contraction. And the release of that stretch. In a way, you're creating a self-massage here by squeezing the muscles and then lifting the belly for support as you stretch those muscles. Slow breath into your lower back. And staying here, let's bring the right foot through. Drop the hips, turn the back toes over, reach back into toe hamstring stretch. Inhale forward, keeping your left hand on the floor. Let's come into a spinal twist. You can rotate from the shoulder, bring that hand around behind you. Put your hand on your lower back. And down. And we'll change sides. Let's bring the left foot through, drop the hips, turn the toes over, press back, lifting your front toes up and bowing over the leg. Yes, you'll feel a stretch in the back of your leg, but you'll also feel a wonderful stretch in your lower back. Support with your abdominals. Inhale up, flatten your back toes, keeping your right hand on the floor. Pull your left hip crease back. Come into a spinal twist here, or rotating, bringing your hand around behind you. Encouraging the body to twist even more, giving yourself a little massage back there if you like. And come on back into child one more time. Come sit up in Thunderbolt for just a minute. You can turn your toes over and spread them wide and strengthen your toes and your feet if you like, or just sit in Thunderbolt. Or if that doesn't work for you, sit in easy pose. We're going to go back into child for a minute. I want to give you a little piece of esoterica that might help your lower back. I'm doing it out of context, so if it doesn't work, fine. But imagine an infinity symbol on your lower back. The center of the infinity symbol is right at the top of the crack of your buttock. And that infinity symbol goes up the top of the left buttock, underneath, up the other side, down, crossing up and over. So if you can imagine that, and again, if you're getting tired of Thunderbolt, go back into child. If you're sensitive to energy, I found some very powerful effects from doing this. You don't need to use your finger. Just take a few breaths and imagine that infinity symbol, energy moving in an infinity shape, up over the left buttock, down around and underneath, crossing right at the crack, up the right buttock, down and underneath. So this energy is releasing congestion in your lower back. Again, you can stay in Thunderbolt, you can get off your toes, you can go into child pose. Do 3 more breaths. And you can continue with this image as we come to our forward fold. See that infinity symbol moving in your back. Bend your knees slightly or deeply so you can really let your back stretch. You want to bring your hands to your back and give yourself a massage. Do that. And then bring your hands to your thighs and roll up. Coming to Tadasana. And you can continue with the infinity symbol in Tadasana for a few more breaths. Let's step out, back-pointed star. We're going to lift up our right toes and rotate them. Lift up our left heel. We're facing the long side of our mat and bending the front knee into warrior pose. Decide how wide you want to be. We're going to do a little vinyasa here. We're going to inhale, press into the foot, straighten up. Exhale, down. Again, with each breath, let the breath get longer and slower and deeper. Move with resistance. Press into the back heel. The 4 corners of the front foot. Hard to stop, isn't it? It feels so good. Let's make this the last one. And then turn and look over your middle finger. Feel your abdominals and your pelvic floor lifting, your lower back, tailbone pointing down, creating length. Bring the back hand to the thigh, turn the front arm up. Let's reach. Come on back up. We'll come to a side angle, reaching over the leg. And again, you can rest your elbow on your leg or reach down and tickle your ankle bone. Your upper arm can be reaching to the sky or overhead, or you can rotate and bring that arm around behind you, grabbing your thigh, or just holding your sacrum and turn and look up. Press actively into the outer heel in the back. Lift your toes, spread them wide, and relax them back down. Let's unwind. Inhale back up. Turn the toes in. Toe heel back to center. Take that in. Whenever we come back to Tadasana, you can reignite the image of the infinity symbol, moving the energy in your lower back. And let's step out nice and wide again. And we'll turn the toes in the opposite direction. Hips and shoulders facing front. Bend your front knee into Virabhadrasana 2. Plant your feet firmly. Lift your toes, spread them wide, relax them back down. Press into the outer back heel, the four corners of your front foot. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, open. Draw the belly in and up. Tailbone points down. Move with resistance. Let the breath get longer and deeper with each repetition. And hold, look over your middle finger. Drop that hand, reach. Inhale back up, reach over the front leg, dropping your elbow to your knee or tickling your ankle bone. Arm can stay up or overhead or rotate around behind you. Hand on sacrum or all the way around, grabbing your hip crease. and unwind, come on back out. And the toes in and toe heel back to Tadasana, take it in. One more wide-legged. Let's turn and point both sets of toes towards the short end of your mat. Bring your hands around behind you in reverse prayer position or grab elbows, whichever is best for you. Pull the mat apart with your feet. And very slowly begin to lift your chest. If that feels safe to you, arcing back. There could be a sense of immense freedom here. And then let's slide forward. You can keep your hands behind you with your elbows crossed, your fingertips pointing into your back or up, or slide your hands down your legs if you need to. It's okay to have a little bend in your front knee. Keep pressing the mat apart with your feet to create stability. Very slowly lengthen out, coming up with a flat back, strong legs and feet grounded to support you. Release, turn your toes back to center, shake out. Whew, that was intense, good work. Back to Tadasana, re-engage the image of the infinity symbol. And we'll go the other way. Big wide stretch. Turn your toes. So both sets of toes are facing the short end of your mat. Press the mat apart with your feet. Lift your toes. Spread them wide. Relax them down. Press into the four corners of your feet, grounding as you pull the mat apart. Then if you've crossed elbows, cross them the opposite way. If you're in prayer position, you're in prayer position. You choose squaring your shoulders and hips to the short end of your mat. Tailbone points down. Pelvic floor and abdominals lift. Chest gets proud. Inhale back up, reaching over your leg with a straight spine for as long as you can, and then sliding down the leg with your hands if you need to, or fingertips pressing into your back, or elbows crossed. Firm your belly for support. Feel that lovely stretch in your lower back. Take a deep breath and lift the chest and slowly come back up with a straight back. Turn the toes inward, toe heel back to center, and shake it out. Whew, it's a lot of work. Good work, everybody. Okay, last thing we're going to do is chair pose for our balancing pose. So finding Tadasana, and if you like, having your infinity energy running through your lower back. Inhale the arms up, shoulders down, chest proud, press back into chair pose. Lift the toes, spread them wide. And if you feel inclined, lift the heels and turn this into a balancing pose. Good job. And release. And shake it out. Last standing pose. We're going to come into a slightly wider pose. I'm not sure which way I want to pose for you. And bend the knees slightly. So think chair pose. But we're going to bring our elbows onto our knees. And it's a little bit of a dog tilt here. So pressing the top of the sacrum into the back, lifting the head and chest. Knees are slightly wider. Just hang out here for several breaths. Supporting with your abdominals in and up. And you could be making that infinity symbol across your lower back. Keep lifting the head. Think dog tilt, lifting the tailbone and lifting the head. Pressing the top of the sacrum forward into your body. And then lower yourself down onto your backs. And take in what we've done so far. Bring one leg in, give it a hug. Lift the head towards the knee if you like. Feel your sacrum pressing into the floor nice and flat. And we'll change legs, some yoga bicycles. And bring both knees in, roll yourself down. Place your feet flat on the floor. We'll do Setu Bandhasana bridge pose. And tuck the tailbone towards the ceiling. Draw the belly back towards the spine. Feel the lower back lengthening. Gonna lift the lower back and press the tailbone into the floor. Sacrum rocking forward and up into the body. And rock, tailbone tucks up, belly presses in, back flat on the floor. Rock onto the tailbone. Get my arms out of the way, maybe that'll help. So we're lifting the lower back, pressing the tailbone in, and the sacrum presses up into the body. Rocking back, tipping the tailbone towards the ceiling. Squeeze the belly. And then rock the other way. Lift the sacrum up into the body. And relax. Let's choose your favorite variation of bridge pose. Take a nice deep breath and begin to lift up. And if you can, come all the way up, then you can bring your hands underneath you into Yoga Mudra, or even come up onto your toes, lift your hips even higher with your hands holding them up and then lowering your feet down. That's a pretty intense stretch, particularly for the front of the thighs. Keep drawing the back of the thighs into the torso and lifting the hips. Whatever variation you've chosen. And release the hands and slowly roll your way back down, vertebra by vertebra. Take a few breaths here. Bring your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug. Open the arms out and we'll lower the knees from side to side. Again, you can lower the knees all the way to the floor or hover an inch above. You're giving yourself a nice little massage in your back, as well as stretching the obliques and strengthening the abdominals. So again, nice lower back work. Come back to center, give yourself a hug. And then choose your favorite inversion. If you'd like to put your legs on a chair, make sure your legs are supported all the way up to your knees. Or you can scoot to a wall. However you want to practice. You can just press your heels to the sky and hold on to your thighs, or press your hips and shoulders into the earth and reach your heels and fingers to the sky. So if you're hanging out, you want to be active. You're not just passively, it's not limp doggy. It's pressing the hips and shoulders back and reaching up in the opposite direction. So you're still engaging your core and widening your sacrum on the floor. And you can hang out here with your little infinity symbol. I shouldn't call it little, with your infinity symbol, moving around your buttocks and crossing at the base of your spine. Well, it's not the tip of your spine, but at the crack. And if your legs are on a chair, bring them up to the ceiling for a minute. If you're against a wall, I think you'll still be able to do this, or maybe you need to scoot away from the wall an inch. Well, do the variation you can do if you're against the wall. We're going to cross our ankles. Again, squeezing the legs together. If your arms are tired, you can always go into goddess arms. That'd be a nice option. Still pressing the sacrum down into the floor, pressing the belly into the back, squeezing those legs together. And let's release and cross the other way, squeezing the legs together, crossing the ankles. Release and bring your knees into your chest. Place your hands on your knees and do some knee circles. Circle back the other way. And then pressing your knees away, making right angles with your legs. Let's roll to one side. Open your arms and turn your head in the opposite direction. If you'd like a little more challenge, take your top leg, stretch it straight, grab your big toe with the nearest 3 fingers. Awareness right into your lower back, feel it relaxing, softening. Feel your breath deepening, getting slower with each breath. Slowly bring your legs back in, roll onto your back. Give yourself a hug. Notice how you feel. Then press your knees away, square your legs, and lower them in the opposite direction. Open your arms out. Turn your head away from your legs. For more intensity, straighten your top leg. Grab your big toes with the nearest hand. Now feel your body soften into the earth. And slowly come back to center. Give yourself a hug. And come into Shavasana. You're welcome to unmute yourselves. Thank you for coming to class. Namaste.